Okay.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Hey everyone, MLive's Brendan Quinn here. Take number 3 on this video. Michigan wins today 14-7 over Wisconsin. And Nick, if you're going to break this thing down, obviously you start with the defense. It's a group that's getting healthy, I think getting better.
Yeah, best performance they've had this year, best physical, whatever you want to say. I mean, they dominated the game. They gave up 1 touchdown on a short field. After an interception, after that, it was just lights out all game long. I think Wisconsin had 159 yards. Jordan Lewis with the acrobatic interception at the end. Channing Stribling had 2 picks. They harassed Alex Hornibrook all game, and championship type performance from that defense tonight.
And the defensive line, I thought, kept what is a really good Wisconsin offensive line back on its heels for a lot of the day, and really just kept everything disrupted. Wisconsin just could never get 2 or 3 plays in succession, any kind of rhythm. It was just constantly going against the wall, essentially.
Yeah, it was all game. I mean, they got after the quarterback, they pressured him into some hurried throws. I think he was like 9 of 25. He never got into a rhythm. And even when he did make a good throw, it was like the last one, the Jordan Lewis interception. That was a good throw. And you just have an all-star making a ridiculous play that'll be on his highlight tape for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Although he said that wasn't his best pick. He said he had one better in high school. But I would have liked to see that one.
I would like to see the film on that one. And Matt, the big play of the day was Wilton Spate to Amara Darboh for what would be the game-winning touchdown. But I think the backstory on that play is as impressive as the play itself. What Amara Darboh did in those 2 series back-to-back.
The series before, he drops an easy ball right across the middle on 3rd down. It would have been 1st down. He comes back and he makes a key 3rd down reception. I think it was on a slant on the left side.
On 3rd and 7, I think.
Yep. And then Speed for the not so great throws he had today. He dropped that one in the perfect spot. Darboh ran right into it and touchdown. What Harbaugh said after the press conference was interesting. Is that play is actually supposed to go to Jake Butt.
Right.
So
sure.
I think it worked out pretty well. And like we talked about for weeks, can Wilton Speed make the big throw in a key moment like this? And he showed today that
he did one.
Yeah.
Nick, you've been saying you want to see what he can do. Is he good? Essentially, it's still a question. I don't think it was answered today.
He's got a long way to go, no question about it. I mean, there were some really erratic throws, and frankly, there were a couple more that probably should have been picked. Felt like he was living on the edge for most of the game. The one probably got picked. But I will say this: he seems to be the even keel thing. Seems to be real with him. He doesn't seem to be rattled. He doesn't seem to be a guy who gets flustered. We've seen so many times quarterbacks will have a shaky game and they won't have the guts to throw a ball like that in the last drive or whatever it is. So I think that's real. I think that you can build on that. At the same time, though, he needs to get a little more settled.
For the first few weeks of the year, one of the big, I think, markers of why this could be a championship caliber team was discipline, lack of penalties. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot. Today, saw a group that there was just goofy stuff happening all over. Do you think this was a matter of it was just a weird game, or is there any actual concern that you would carry out of this?
They got to fix their field goal stuff. That'll cost you a game. You'll lose a game because of that. I mean, that's reality on that one. So you got to fix that. The punt stuff was weird. Some holding on the offensive line a few times, but they mucked through it. I think that's the ultimate. They didn't, if they kick 3 field goals, they win this game 23-7. And it becomes, wow, they really just handled Wisconsin. But there were some things that they screwed around with and weren't clean with, and of course you got to fix that stuff. Field goals would be number 1. You got to make field goals. 0 of 3 is not going to do it.
That will cost you a game. It'll cost you a game eventually. But I guess before we get out of here, now the road is kind of paved to a highly anticipated rematch with Michigan State. They obviously have a few games to get through before that, starting next week at Rutgers. But at this point in the year, where's this group at? Do you think they're a legit top 4 team?
I mean, if you fix I think if you need to see more consistency out of Wilton Speed to become, I mean, the defense is right there. It's right where they expect it to be. I think they look outstanding. Offensively, I think you need to see a little more out of Speed, but I think overall they're right about where I think we would have guessed. I mean,
I don't know how many more teams you put in front of them. Sure. Wisconsin was number 8, and like we just said, if you make 3 field goals, that's a dominant win. So I mean, I think the defense is legit. I think that's for real. The offense is what it is, and they've got to find a way to scheme people open a little bit more. But other than Michigan, you got Rutgers, Illinois,
Maryland,
Michigan State. So you got a couple tough ones in there.
Yeah.
Michigan State, I guess, but they struggled. They got the crap kicked out of them by this team last
Yeah.
week. Iowa lost today at home.
Yep.
So Ohio State's still there,
Well,
but that's
way
12.
away.
So
That's
we'll
way
see.
away. And a night game in Iowa.
Yep.
Anything can happen. And,
Yep.
and the trip to Michigan State.
Mhm.
But that's all well down the line. Until then, we'll have the podcast this week, and then Nick gets to take a trip out to beautiful New Jersey for some
Yeah.
football next week.
I go to New Jersey way too much. It
There
seems
you
like.
go. So make sure you watch that video of him by himself
Yeah.
next week, because those are always fun. But that'll do it for this week. Again, Michigan 14, Wisconsin 7. For Nick, for Matt, I am Brendan. Thanks for watching.